Oh, cool. Okay. All right, guys, hold on one quick second because let me tell you something. It took a minute for me to get here, and I've been doing it. Hold on. Let's see. I'm trying to tag folks, so y'all give me a second. All right. So let's see what we are doing. Give me one more quick second for those who may be tuning in. I'm gonna get some folks, or I'm gonna try to get some folks tagged and getting them in the room. Hold on one second. Um, trying to think. Um, give me a second. Uh, let's see. All right, y'all. Hold on one quick second. I'm still coming. I'm coming. Give me a minute. Okay, it ain't looking. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna just go with this right now, y'all, because listen, it has been a minute. Let me get everybody else on here. So hold on, hold on. Let's see what we are working with. Okay, hold on. And I forgot to do that. So let me do that. And I think we are good everywhere. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be when you are tuning into this podcast. I am your international award winning author, filmmaker, lit coach, life coach, empowerment specialist, all the things, Toneal M. Jackson. And I want to welcome you guys to another Educated, Get Empowered with Toneal. Hello, Miss Shalonda. Look, I want you guys to do just like Shalonda did, whether you are watching from Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or even listening on Noon Vibe. Please feel free to say hello so that way I can speak back. Hey, Miss Bridget, you guys, again, number one, say hello so I can speak back. Number two, like and share the video, like and share. Number three, tag somebody that you believe would benefit from this broadcast. So, what are we talking about today? We are talking about divorce in the black. Okay. So, as a generic title, if you will, we're saying divorce in the black. So, yes, we will specifically, this is going to be a review on Tyler Perry's latest release, newest release, Divorce in the Black, but it is not limited to that. And so I will say, if you have yet to see the movie and you want to watch the movie, do not listen to my podcast today. Spoiler alert, okay? Because I am going to be talking about the movie. Listen, Shalonda, don't you dare jump ahead of me. She said it's a hot mess, especially the ending. Listen, but you guys know what I do with Get Educated, Get Empowered with Toneal, right? So if you don't know, if you are new here, let me explain to you what it is that we do. So we will take a theme, right? And typically the theme is the primary focal point will be either self care, relationships, the arts, or entrepreneurship, because those are my areas of expertise. So, like last week, pretty much everything that we touched on was under the umbrella of self care primarily, but then we figure out how to incorporate it all across the board. This week, it looks like we are going to be talking about about relationships in some capacity, right? I'll say it that way, because the main things I want to kind of hit on, we're starting with divorce in the black today. We're going to talk about the uh attempted assassination of President Trump. And for those of you who are not able to see me, I had that in quotes, because that's what people have referred to it as, the attempted assassination of President Trump. So we'll be talking about that probably on tomorrow. Then there were a lot of people who passed away. I want to say on Saturday. It was like 4 or 5 different people who all passed away, and we know that it's not just celebrity deaths that affect us; it's death in general. So we're going to talk about death in general and its effects, right? So again, this whole week is going to be on relationships, but we're gonna start out. We start now talking about divorce in the black. So by show of hands, how many people saw it? I know Miss Yolanda saw it. If you saw it and you guys are on the vibe, you guys give me like a hand clap or something so I can see that you visually saw it. If you guys saw it, put in the comment section, either raise your hand or say I saw it. Um, and again, I'm trying to make sure that people know when they're coming in. This is a spoiler alert. Like, if you have not seen it, do not watch this podcast, because I'm going to be going through the different scenes of the movie. We're going to be talking about this movie and then breaking it down to the overall topic, which is like, is it possible to have an amicable breakup? Okay. And so you guys will kind of know where I'm coming from. If you saw the movie, you kind of know where I'm trying to get to. So let's break it down, shall we? If you saw it, and those of you who are watching, if you saw it, put in the comment section thumbs up or thumbs down. Like, what were your feelings toward it? Thumbs up or thumbs down. If you are a quick typer, then you can type what you thought about it. But just really quickly, thumbs up or thumbs down. Did you like it? Did you not? Right? Let me know what you guys felt about it. Thumbs up or thumbs down. But let me go into my feelings about it. Well, first let me say this. I watched it because I had seen so many different people talking about it. It just came out on July 11th, right? It's streaming on Prime Video, Amazon Prime. So it came out on Thursday, and I think I watched it Saturday. Okay. And so I'm like, there was so many different mixed reviews, and this is why it is always a good idea to look at something for yourself, right? The Bible says, study show thyself approved, but it's good to watch stuff to formulate your own opinion, because what somebody might find to be horrible, you might find to be absolutely wonderful, right? And so I think on my timeline, at least, there were mixed reviews, like mixed opinions. There were just as many people that said it was a hot mess or garbage or a waste of time. Why did he do it? Talking about Tyler Perry, like, why did he do something else again? But I had just as many people that was like, oh my God, it was great. So if I had to give it on a scale of 1 to 10, I honestly would probably give it an 8. I would probably give it an 8. If it was as simple as, should you see it or should you not see it, I would recommend, yes, I would see it, right? Now I will be honest in my, hey, Miss Jennifer, I will definitely be honest in terms of my assessments of the movie. And and again, you guys can feel free to jump in and say, share your feelings. But for me, no, it's not just like it gets a pass because it's Tyler Perry. No, it's not that. I legitimately thought that the concept of this movie, Divorce in the Black, I thought that it was a good concept. What I have heard, a criticism that I've heard, people will say, well, he's always like being hard on the men. He's always bashing the men, and his women always has a slant. His movies always has a slant toward women. Well, you have to understand that Tyler Perry long ago established who his target audience was, right? And he writes for his audience. And so, like, I will come back around to that when we talk about entrepreneurship, because that's like how I'm going to fit that in. Because again, we're talking about divorcing the black from each perspective. So from the arts, I'm going to give the movie review, then entrepreneurship, talking about why it is that he wrote it the way that he did, then moving it to the actual concept of relationships, and we'll end it with self-care. So talking about the movie again, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. I heard people say that basically it was poor acting. I disagree that it was poor acting. I will say that certain things were predictable, right? Like you could kind of foresee certain parts, and so I get where they would say it wasn't, the acting wasn't the best, but I think that, so let's just start. Let's start at the beginning, shall we? If you saw the movie, like never have I ever, and I have seen a lot of movies in my time, never have I ever seen a movie start the way that that movie started. Like I have seen movies where they've had, so again, for those of you who've seen it, let's talk about it. The movie starts with them at a funeral, okay, and it is the brother of what is Corey Hardrick's name in the movie again, Dallas. So it is Dallas's brother's funeral, okay, and so this is how the movie starts. And I've seen a lot of movies that have funerals. I've seen a lot of movies where something might go to the left, something might be unexpected, but never have I ever seen a movie where the mother commands, and that's the word to use. I've never seen a mother command her children to take her child out of the casket and carry his body home. So here's the thing, if nothing else, you have to give Tyler Perry a for originality on that one, okay? Like, when have anybody else ever seen that before? Have you ever seen a movie where the mother said, I mean, like, because that was totally to the left. First of all, let's just talk about it real quick, because I don't want to come across as judgmental. However, comma, you could definitely tell that these two families. So again, the the main characters, you have Dallas played by Corey Hardrick, and you have, what was her name? Y'all, what was Megan Good's name in the movie? Lord, how did I forget just that quick? Lord have mercy. Somebody put, if y'all saw the movie, put her name. What's her name? Put her name in the comment section. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna think about it. But while I'm thinking, somebody put in the comment section. What was I just got a brain freeze that quick. Put in the comment section the name of Megan Good's character in Divorce in the Black. But anyway, so you had Dallas, and for right now, we're gonna say Megan Good. So you could tell they came from, their families is from two different sides of the tracks. Okay. So like Dallas them is, we'll say trailer park people, and we'll just leave it like that. Okay. So they definitely deep country, deep south, um I'm trying to say it as politically correct as I can, but we gonna just say that they countrified, okay? So and you might want to throw in it with a side of ghetto-ness to them, okay? So you got the mama and then all of the brothers, okay? So Dallas's brother, Ava. Thank you, Shalonda. Ava. So Dallas, so Dallas is played by Corey Hardrick. I got to get my whole life because I'm gonna get a review and can't remember the people's name. So, but Dallas is played by Corey Hardrick and Ava is played by Megan Good. Okay, so they are primarily I would say, the main characters, and then you kind of had like the family and friends that were like the supporting ensemble. All right. So it comes on, Dallas's brother is dead, and Ava's father is a pastor, and he's giving the eulogy. Okay. And so his eulogy was a little bit slanted. Now, when I say that, what I mean is most people are used to going to funerals where whoever is eulogizing, giving the eulogy, giving the final words of the body, you're used to having people, really kind of cake them up, right? Like, I don't care if they were the biggest sinner ever, if they was the shadiest person ever. Most of the time at most people's funerals, what you gonna get, you only getting a nice version of them, right? You only gonna hear people talk about all the good times that you had, how wonderful the person was. The person could be died on death row because he was a serial killer, but at his or her funeral, all you will hear about is just how wonderful they were, right? And then, if you have a funeral in a church setting, and if there is a pastor who gives it, many times the pastor will take that as an opportunity to speak to those who remain, right? So again, I ain't talking about if this is just at a funeral home, or if it's just amongst, like, like if it's a street funeral. No, I'm saying, what I'm referencing is if it's actually what Christians call a homegoing service. So if you have your funeral, your service in a church, and a pastor eulogizes, then typically the custom of a pastor is to talk to those who remain, because the whole concept is they're trying to make sure, especially if the person who passed away didn't, let's just say, quote unquote, die right, okay, being politically correct, then what they want to do is they want to kind of send a message to the family of not just encouragement, but also kind of like unctioning them, like trying to convince them that you guys want to turn your life over, right? You guys don't want to, basically, you don't want to go to hell, okay? And so that's a pastor's job. That's typically what they do. However, on this here movie, like, some people say he's a little shady. Y'all can tell me, do y'all feel like he's a little shady? Do you feel like that he gave a little bit too much? Some people said that they don't feel like it took all that, because Ava's father, who's played by Richard Lawson, he went in on talking about, like, the decisions, the poor decisions he made, the fact that, pretty much saying he deserved what he got, and that the family, ain't no good family. And so he said all this stuff. And so the mama, again, you could tell that she's more on the, I don't know the politically correct word for ghetto, but she's more on the ghetto side of things, right? And so you could tell, like, her water was boiling, okay? Temperature was rising, and not in a good way. Like, she was getting very heated and even overheated, because she's listening to what this man is saying about her son. Now, let's stop and pause to say this. I don't care who you are. Most mothers are very overprotective of their children. I don't care if you were raised in the streets or in the church. Like, when it comes down to your children, many mothers, I won't say all, but many mothers are like mama bears, okay? Like, what you not gonna do? You not finna talk about my kids. You not finna hurt my kids. You not, like, and I don't care what your background is. They It may be expressed differently, right? Like, people who are more high class, high society, they may have a more prim and proper way of saying it than somebody who's more, low class or whatever. But absolutely, Jennifer, she said, especially their sons. Listen, what you ain't gonna do. Okay, so let's just get the ebonics to come out, because that's how most mothers are. You not finna play with my kids. Okay, that's most mothers. Again, whether you say it prim or proper, or you speak ebonics, when it comes to our children, most mothers are just that way. So here it is, this woman is hearing him talk in a not positive way about her child. And again, she already not of the church, y'all. So, like, you can't expect folks that's not from church to act like they church just because they in church. Okay, what's in the person gonna come out of person. I don't care where they at. And so therefore, this woman rose up and said, what you ain't finna do is talk about my son. This woman done took off her clothes. She wasn't naked, but she took off her clothes that was given to her. She said, take these clothes, because y'all ain't finna feel like that you better than me just because you gave me these clothes. Y'all get up, get your brother. So now the guy's thinking, oh, she talking about grab the casket. She said, no, no, I don't want that casket. I don't want nothing that they gave, because then they gonna feel like they did us a favor, right? This is where sometimes pride get in the way, but okay, let's go with it. My girl said, lift the casket, leave the casket, open it up, take my child out, and just carry him to the truck. Put his body, put the embalmed body in the back of the truck, of the pickup truck, and we finna take him home, and we gonna bury him on our land. Now, can we just pause right there? Take him home for station identification. Because let me tell you something. There are times when I can be prideful. I'm not saying it's a good thing. There are times when I am very independent. Okay. I love all my kids. I don't know if I want to dig a hole in my backyard to bury their body. I don't I don't know. And that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's just a deep south way of thinking or something like I don't know. Maybe I'm too northern for that. But like I don't know if I just want, and I understand before y'all come at me, I understand y'all gonna say, well, that's how slaves was buried. Like everybody don't have money for a casket, so that's what they do. Okay. But typically when they bury people, at least from my little knowledge, and I don't know all, but like it's on a land that ain't your land. I don't know if I want to have my child buried in my backyard and then I come out and I know I don't know. It might just be me. Y'all can tell me if y'all disagree or you okay with having your loved one buried like literally. This ain't figuratively, like literally right outside of your house, and you just know like that lump of dirt, is them. I seen it in movies like with pets. But I don't know if I want to see and know that my child. Let's keep going, shall we? Because y'all done took about 20 minutes to talk about the opening scene. But the point is that lets you know the opening scene was really good. I felt like it was really catchy. I felt because there were a lot of people that said that there were times where it was a snooze fest. They didn't feel like that it had enough. Hey, Miss Michelle, where they didn't feel like it had enough action. I disagree. I feel like that there was a good tempo to the movie throughout the entire movie. Like I feel like it was marked as being an action slash suspense movie, more so suspense. I think that it was suspenseful. I think that it had a very good pacing throughout it. I don't know that you again, there were maybe piece here, piece there where you might could guess what would happen, but in general, it wasn't the type of where you go, yeah, he gonna be at the door. Then watch what happened when you go. Like it wasn't that. Cause by show of hands, who could have guessed that that's how that movie gonna start? Where the mama is telling them to take my son out the casket. You ain't never seen that before. So you got to give him an A for originality with that. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So you got the movie find out that he a little off. Okay, talking about Corey Hardrick. Play his name. His name is Dallas. So Dallas is a little. He done went through some things, right? He's very disrespectful. Let me see. I got you. Michelle is answering the question at the end. I'm gonna come back and definitely highlight that comment. So Dallas and Ava are together. They don't have any children. They've been together probably since childhood, right? So they childhood sweethearts. They end up getting married, younger. And they had been together, I think, what, 10, 12 years, something like that. They've been married for a minute. Nothing ever came of it, but problems and problems and problems. And a lot of that is because of the outsiders, right? Now, I don't want to go too much to that because I'll dissect that when we start talking about from a relationship point of view. Like his side of the family was a whole lot. And I'll be fair because he might agree to say that her side of the family was a lot. So sometimes I'll just suffice it to say that sometimes when you get family inserting themselves in your relationship, that can make the relationship a little bit more difficult. But anyway, so Dallas got a lot going on with himself mentally. You find out that he ended up killing his father. And it was like every time Ava, it seemed like whenever they were getting on the outs with the relationship, she would feel like that she was making a little bit more of a breakthrough, right? Like he give her another little crumb. And so sometimes you gotta look at stuff like that, because like, was he purposely giving her the crumbs just because he realized that, okay, she about to leave me if I don't give her a little something? And so he would, and I don't mean sex and I say give her a little something. I mean like she when you're in a relationship, certain times people need to be needed, and she was one of those that she needed for him to not necessarily need her, but it, it wasn't mutual. And there are many times when she could feel that it wasn't mutual, and I think there were times where he knew that she could feel it wasn't mutual. So whenever it got to the point where he knew that she knew it wasn't mutual, then he do something, he throw her a bone to kind of make her feel like, okay, maybe it is okay. So watch this. This man is the one that got all the issues, right? And let me tell y'all why I'm laughing. Because for all the people who said that this is not believable, I'm going to tell you this. Thank God that to you and in your world, this is not believable. Because all that means is that you have not really been around toxic people. Because this was very believable for me. I know people that this type of stuff have happened to. Okay. So I don't feel that it was far fetched at all. So this dude ends up saying to her just random, I don't want to be with you no more. Like it was just a random day. Come home. I don't want to be with you no more. I want a divorce. So, hey, Ricky. So, okay. He says, hey, Shawanda. He say that he don't want to be with her no more. He want a divorce. And then watch this. He get mad because she said, okay. Okay, y'all, pardon me if this not supposed to be funny. It was hilarious to me. Again, I've been through some toxic things. I know of folks who done been through some toxic things. And so the point just is that like when you are with narcissists and they demonstrate that behavior, and especially once you done got whole and you can see what they doing, then it just get a little bit kind of crazy, right? So he encourages her. He says, I want a divorce. She didn't come home and say, she was mad at him for how disrespectful she was. I mean, he was, because again, I ain't telling y'all everything line by line of what happened, but understand that she had been disrespected, not just at the funeral, because she's the reason why they had it at the church, but they end up blaming what went wrong on her, saying that she purposely tried to do that or whatever. But all these years she done been with him. And it comes out in the movie all the different things she done endured, right? Like he done hit her, he done did all types of stuff to her, and she's done just held on, ain't said nothing, trying to make it work. Even her parents is like, you don't need to go through this. But she's like, but I've seen you and dad, because she's talking to mom, I've seen you and dad go through this, and but not the domestic violence part, but she's just looking at the longevity of the marriage, understand that it's till death do apart. And so she's trying to honor her vows and just work with it and stick it out, right? And so this dude say, I want a divorce. She cry, leave all of that. But then she do what most women do. Look, we ain't finna let you see us at our weakest, right? This what you want? Okay, so I'm gonna get to you. So she comes in, they at the divorce court or whatever, the lawyers and stuff. So she come in with her attorney, he got his attorney, a witness or whatever they are. And she was like, I don't need to read nothing, because they like read through the papers, make sure I don't want nothing from him. I don't need to read nothing. She signed it, she gone. Now guess what? Guess who mad? He mad. Why you mad? She gave you what you asked for. You want a divorce. She gave you a divorce. So now in his little narcissistic mind, the only reason why she want a divorce is because she trying to be with somebody else. But she ain't the one. Okay, that line of reasoning would be okay if she's the one that came to you and said, I want a divorce. I don't think this is working. Because anybody that's done been in a relationship that been, that it's starting to head south, and you could tell it's heading south. And if, say again, I ain't this is a no judgment zone during this whole during this review, this is a no judgment zone. So there are people who when you get married, you might see that your marriage ain't going where you want to go, and you trying. And then some people do may step out and do whatever they do on the side. Hey, Miss Rochelle, they might do whatever they do on the side because they know that the divorce is over, whatever. I mean, that the marriage is over. And again, I'm not saying that that's good, that's right. I'm just telling y'all what some people do and how it go. So I could see if this was the case where she, she got her somebody on the side, and then she kind of comparing her side piece with him, and then if she come to him, and then if she say, I want out, okay, then I could get you going on to say, oh, you just wanted somebody else. You the one, you the one who brought up the concept of I want a divorce. She ain't cheated on you. She ain't did nothing. You just in your little finite wisdom done decided that you want a divorce. Okay. So she give you the divorce. So after she divorced you, guess what? Or after y'all get divorced, she don't belong to you no more. This dude. Can we say stalker? Can we say crazy, deranged? So she ends up, she do what she do. She move out, and then I think like at some point she ends up coming back home. Right? She comes home because she has a house and stuff. So she's trying to move on with her life. She ends up talking to this dude who, and y'all know this how it always go to. Let me talk to my ladies real quick because it's probably true for the men too, but just real quick to the ladies. Like, you know how when you fall in love, all you see is just the person that you in love with. So you don't even see or know or think that anybody else like you or anybody else is interested in you. But then what happened? Once you become free, now all these people come up out the woodwork talking about, yeah, because I was interested in you, but you was with old dude, you was with old boy, or when you was with him. And I mean, that's cool because that's respect, right? Because they like, hey, I know that you with somebody, so I'm gonna back off. But the moment that you ain't with such and such no more, they like, how you doing, right? So anyway, that's what happened with her and dude, and so with Benji. And so they talking or whatever. She ain't married no more. So this ain't her committing adultery. This ain't her stepping on the side. She a whole divorce. Here come Benji. They started talking. Then maybe they did a little bit more than talking after a while. Wake up in her house. Come downstairs. This dude, now I'm talking about her ex, is in her house. Like eating cereal. Talking about, you surprised to see me? Yeah, I would say so. I mean, why are you here? I don't understand why you here because this ain't your house. This ain't our house. It's my house. We've been divorced for a minute now. And so he get mad because he like, because I know you got some dude, and I'm giving all the PG version of language, okay? But I know you got some dude in my house. So then now him and Benji get into it or whatever. And okay, y'all, so look, because I don't want to be an hour giving a review on this movie because y'all know how I be, but I'm trying to just get through it. But here's the point. This dude ends up stalking her parents. Hold on, let me see. Rochelle say, I felt she should have warned him upstairs. I agree with that, Rochelle. I agree with that because that was the one thing, I don't know if y'all like me, but sometimes I'm one that might holler at my TV screen like they can hear me when I'm watching the movie. And that was one of the times like, call Benji. I'm like, Benji. Like Benji can hear me, right? Like, how you gonna know? Like, you could holler up the stairs. Benji, he come because you ain't got nothing to be ashamed or embarrassed about. You're a whole divorced woman. Like, if this is a dude that you feel that you got feelings for, why are you allowing this crazy dude to come upstairs to mess with your new dude? Why? And you ain't gonna even warn him. You're not gonna holler up. You're not gonna say, Benji, here Dallas come. Benji, wake up. You knew he was asleep because you crept out downstairs, so you knew he wasn't even woke. So you know the background. You know that back in the day, Dallas and his brothers beat Benji up, which is the reason why he ended up bulking up because he like, I ain't finna let them do that to me no more, right? So you know the history, and yet and still you let Dallas sneak up on him, get a couple sucker punches in. Like that wasn't cool either. I agree with you on that one, Rochelle. Like that should not have been done. But anyway, let's keep going. So they go through all of that. This dude, talking about Dallas, and look, for those of you who haven't watched the movie, even though I am telling y'all the movie, like you still need to go watch because I ain't telling it in any type of particular order. Hey, Miss Patricia, you got to be there to know what I'm talking about, right? So I'm telling all the parts, but maybe it's in order, maybe it ain't. This just it's like ragu. Everything I'm saying, it's in there. It's in there. Exactly the chronological order. Maybe I'm right, maybe I ain't. It's just in there. So here it is that you so now Benji, do what he do. He get out, he bust him up, he out the house, whatever. This dude go and stalks her mama. Now you know how earlier I said that mamas be a little bit overprotected when it comes to their kids. When your kids get grown, most of the time your kids a little bit overprotective of their mama. Because what you ain't gonna do, if my mother was still alive, I wish anybody would. Like I am so saved and everything, but I wish anybody would try to put their hands on my mama. And we gonna leave it at that. I'ma just leave it right there. Cause it's just certain people in my life that you ain't gonna touch without it being we all right. I'm just leave it right there. Because you ain't gonna touch nobody that's near and dear to me. And I ain't got no whole long laundry list. But it's just certain ones, and I ain't even gonna name them right here because you got some people that's sadistic that'll be like they'll try to, and can't nobody do nothing to my mama because unfortunately she already passed away. But I wish somebody would try me, okay? And so this dude done went and got and started stalking her mama, not just stalking from afar. He done went in the grocery store talking about, cuz I see your routine ain't changed. What? Who? Then he tries to put his hands on her. Oh, the daddy was like, now, first of all, Daddy's a pastor or whatever, but Daddy said, "Look, don't let the pastorness fool you." He took some guns to the door to Ava's house. Was like, "Look, because we already know." When she told him about the fact that Dallas done came up in the house or whatever, and thank God that Benji was there, and the Daddy already liked Benji, so that was cool anyway. That wasn't a problem. But I mean, and again, she a grown woman and she ain't married, so it ain't like it was a problem. But the point is, so he takes the guns. He's like, "Look, I need you." Wait, Shalonda say she cooking and hollering. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. So listen. So the daddy is like, I'm giving you all these guns because this dude is crazy. Okay. So I need you to have a gun at your 3 o'clock, your 6 o'clock, your 12 o'clock, and your 9 o'clock. Because you don't never know what o'clock he gonna come at you at. So I need you. And okay, maybe he didn't say it the way I'm saying it, but if y'all saw it, y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know I'm saying what he said. So he's like, I need you. I don't care what time it is. You need to be able to reach 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and you need to be able to be all right with however he gonna come at you, right? So he gave her all them guns. You thought he done emptied out all the guns. No, daddy still got some guns. When he found out this dude done touched his wife, listen, like, oh, I don't care that I'm about 82 years old. Like, okay, like the ego-ness of this dude's like, I don't care. I'm fighting for what's mine. And so I'm finna go to the trailer because I already know that's what all y'all say because y'all ain't got nothing anyway. So I'm finna go to the trailer park. I'm knocking on your mama trailer. We finna find out, man to man, whatever. So here's the other thing I don't like, and this is just in general. Listen, I'm gonna talk about that in the relationship part, Shalonda. Now, here's the thing. I believe in mano y mano, okay? Even though Spanish that translates as hand to hand, but I believe on one, right? So this man comes to you. First of all, he's old enough to be your father. So why you need somebody else to fight somebody that's at least twice your age? That lets you know you ain't nothing but a little punk anyway. Like, here's my thing. if you gonna fight, I don't endorse violence. But if you gonna fight, this is the way that we were brought up, okay? My mother would always tell us, don't you start nothing, but you better finish it, right? So I ain't gonna start nothing. I'm gonna try to mind my business as much and as long as I can. But when you put your hands on me, then it goes to another level, right? This dude, he came to him. Maybe he might have had a shotgun in his hand. Okay, maybe. But the point is, he came to this dude. He was not what I believe. I know I wasn't there, but what I believe the case, I don't think that he was actually going to shoot Dallas. I think he was going there to threaten Dallas. And Dallas understood why the threat would have happened because, dude, not only have you been putting your hands on my daughter and I'm just not finding out about, but forget that. You put your hands on my wife. That's like what you ain't gonna do. So I believe if he wasn't being a punk, he would have understood that he was coming for him. Like, ain't nowhere in the world you gonna think that what you did was okay and ain't nobody finna. But in true fashion, and here come the brothers, here come the mama. Now everybody ganging up on a 75, 82-year-old man, however old he is. Because like in real life, I think Richard Lawson, for real, I think he's like 77 or something like that. So I'm not being facetious, like he actually is like up there in age. But you at least twice, he's at least twice your age. And it take 3, 4 y'all to jump on the 75 y'all man, really. But keep going. She baits him good. Was there anybody else excited about the baiting part happening? Like when she had told him to come on because she went back home because she knew exactly what to do. Anyway, y'all. So long story short, he ends up dead. She ends up with Benji. Daddy and the mama is all right. Everybody except for the Beltran family, Beltran, whatever you pronounce their name, everybody else ends up happily ever after. So I again will give Divorce in the Black because yeah, I keep on going. I probably could talk about this movie because y'all know I always got to insert my little life lessons as I go. I could probably talk about this for an hour and a half. I ain't finna do that. But 8 out of 10 is what I would say. I disagree with certain components that people were saying. I don't think that it was a snooze fest. I think it was an act. I think it was, it had a good pacing. I don't think that it was totally predictable. Some parts maybe, but not like even half of the movie. Maybe like again, bits and pieces here and there you can predict, but that's just I think that's with any movie. That's not just because it's a Tyler Perry movie. Like honestly, I like this movie much better than I like Acrimony. I like this movie much better than I like Mia Culpa. Like I feel like it makes sense. And again, I think you have to know your target audience. So let's transition now, right? So we talked about from the arts, the movie review. That's the movie review perspective. So when we talk about it from an entrepreneurial perspective, people get mad because they like all the Tyler Perry movies are the same, or he always playing toward women. Let me ask you a question. If you got somebody, okay, let's just do something real quick. I'm in my room. So I don't know if y'all ever seen me wear this bag, but I got this bag for my birthday, right? So this is called Classic Cloth. This is a bag. The designer's name is Karika, right? I told my daughters that I saw this designer. She is on TikTok and she's a young, beautiful African American designer. And I was like, I wanted for my birthday, I wanted to support her. And so I didn't tell them which bag because she designs handbags. And because of my physical condition, I can't carry real big purses. So this is just like a little baby mini. I love it. It's very fashionable. So I was like, I wanted this. I wanted a bag. They could pick whichever one. I showed them the website. Y'all could pick whichever one, get me that. So what they did was they got me this one. And then they also got me this one. So I ended up getting two, right? Here's the point that I'm making. Ain't nobody mad at Karika because of the fact that she make all handbags for women. Cause she identified that handbags, she want to do handbags, and I gotta be politically correct because I understand nowadays it's not just women, but whichever pronoun that goes with the identify as a woman. So for people who identify and who likes her handbags, that's who it's for. You understand? So she not finna start making work pants because somebody gonna say that her handbags is just for women. That's the point. Y'all get where I'm going with that? Hey, Miss Yvette, y'all get where I'm going? As an entrepreneur, it take a minute. Like some entrepreneurs can come out and you definitively know who your target market is, right? Some entrepreneurs, when you come out, your target market actually evolves, right? Like you might have came out thinking this was your target market, but then it's like your target market actually ends up finding you. What do I mean? Like, so let's say when you come out, you wrote a book, right? And in your mind, you might think that this book is geared toward this particular demographic, but who actually started coming to you was a totally different demographic. So it's like you could either A, say, well, I'm gonna ignore the people who actually coming to me and I'm gonna still just try to only focus on the people I'm trying to focus on. Or you can say, well, you know what, maybe I should pivot. And since these are the people that's coming at me, let me start making this my target demographic, right? So Tyler Perry ain't dumb. And for anybody who keeps saying, well, his movies are all the same and they play towards the same demographic, that's the point. He's an entrepreneur. He's an entrepreneur. Like, that's the point of business. If I've identified that my target market is primarily African American and women, right? So not necessarily African American women, but women and African Americans. If he has identified who his target market, he ain't just come out yesterday. This dude been doing this since the 90s. Like the what was it? The plays first came out in what, 96 or something like that. So he's been doing this for almost 30 years in plays, TV shows, films. So across the board, from a visual standpoint, this is what he been doing in some shape, form, or fashion. So whether it was a stage play, whether it was on a TV show, whether it was a movie, he already identified. He didn't stumble to. He told you coming out that who he's trying to. Hey, Miss Charlotte. He came out saying that he is writing for, like, oh, I done lost the earring, so let me just take the other one out. Okay, he already came out saying, I am writing to honor like the matriarchs of my family. Where I really got my content from was being around my moms, my aunts, all of that, right? So he's already told you who it is that he's writing for. He's already said out loud, I know who my content is written toward. So that then means if I know that my primary audience are African American women, then I'm going to write storylines that appeal to, fill in the blank, y'all, African American women. I, just because you mad because you not his target market. And again, please understand, this is not me defending Tyler Perry. This is me trying to explain to whoever don't get how entrepreneurship works. You figure out who your target audience is, and those become your people. Do you understand? You can be in the world. I don't even know how many people is on the planet. A whole lot of them, right? But I've always said this when I teach on entrepreneurship. The worst answer any entrepreneur can say when you're asked the question, who is your target market or who is your product for? If you say everybody, that means that you ain't did your work, because you ain't gonna really get anybody. Like, there is a whole marketing plan that goes into stuff once you understand who your target market is. It is very arrogant to believe that you're going to be able to hit everybody, because I don't care who you are. Everybody will never like you. There will always be somebody that like you. There's always going to be somebody that supports you, that understands your message. And then there's going to be people who can't stand you, who hate you, who like, why in the world you even doing it? You need to go kick rocks barefoot. Like, in the same room, right? Now, well, I'll say it like this. If you're in the right room, if you did your research, you're going to be in the right room. So technically you wouldn't be there. But like, let's say you ain't did research, like just in general, it's going to be just as many people that may like you that hate you, is my point, right? So He not writing his work for the people who ain't his target audience. And yeah, that was kind of ironically speaking, but y'all get what I'm saying. Hey, Miss Lolita, he figured that out a long time ago. And people are like, well, I can't believe that he's not addressing the fact, he's not addressing the comments of people saying, making those comments about who he's writing his work to. Because how many more times y'all need him to say the same thing? Every time for the last however many years, with every Madea movie, y'all had, there was negative commentary. And again, I don't even I may I may admire his entrepreneurial mind. I'm not a Madea fan, right? Like, have I seen certain Madea movies? Yes, but I've seen more Tyler Perry movies than Madea movies, if that makes sense, right? So I wasn't like the Madea family reunion or Madea Christmas, so I didn't see all that. But like, I saw Good Deeds, I saw a family that prays together. I saw, so like the movies, the actual movies that he produced that was Madea free, I saw. But the point that I'm making is, as an entrepreneur, he has very clearly stated who his target market is. So therefore, just like any entrepreneur, if I have a product line, if say, so I had some t-shirts that say I'm glad to be a woman. So if it say I'm glad to be a woman, y'all see where I'm going with this? I, I'm not offended because men ain't buying my shirts because it say I'm glad to be a woman. So, like, I would only expect a man to buy my shirt if he got a woman in his life that he want to get a shirt to. Like, if he trying to support me holistically because he like what I'm doing, but my product ain't for him. So I'm not mad if I got a table full of I'm glad to be a woman t-shirts. I'm not mad if I see men go the other way. You understand? So I don't have to keep on addressing it. I'm not emotionally attached to the fact that men are walking away from, like, when I was, like with my organization, Artists Promoting Success. At the time when I was just authors promoting success, all I was helping was authors. So I'm not offended if a singer don't come my way. So I think that the people who constantly criticize him for saying that all of his movies are basically the same and they're geared toward the same audience, I think they don't get it. Like, I think they don't understand the whole concept. Like, how do y'all think that he keep on being number one in the box office or wherever, whatever streaming platform he's on? Because he has hit he understands who his market is and he plays to them, just like with Jordans. When you have Jordans come out or whatever you want, Air Jordans, whatever, when they come out, they not looking to sell Jordans to people who want stilettos. That's not, they not even wasting any money marketing to those. Like, if people who wear stilettos happen to buy a pair of Jordans, then they happen to buy them. But by design, I'm not, if I design gym shoes, I don't think that people who only wear stilettos, I'm not trying to market to you. The problem is when you don't know who your target market is and you are under the misconception that what you have is for everybody. Now you're wasting time, money, and energy because you're trying to appeal to everybody as opposed to having figured out who your people are, and then you just like supply and demand. Once you know who your people are, once you know what they want, then it's just like any other entrepreneur. You figure out, hey, this is a problem. You got a problem, here's your solution, right? So what does he do? If I'm writing toward women, he figures out what are issues that women typically like to see or they experience. So typically it's gonna be relationship stuff. So he gonna write relationship stuff, and then they're gonna keep on watching it. Why? Because that's the point. That's the point. So anyway, let's go ahead and transition talking about relationships. So the question of the hour is, and y'all can put in the comments, and I'm gonna go back to what Michelle said. The question of the hour, since we're talking about divorce and the black, and a lot of times, because the whole concept is of what Megan Good was saying when she made that statement, was to say, I came into this marriage in the red, meaning negative, right? So I was broken, hurt, whatever, so in a bad way is how I came in. But I want to leave out in the black. meaning positive. So when y'all think about red and black, like those are tax terms, right? So you don't want to be negative. You don't want to have to owe anything. You want to be in the black. So even if you ain't way ahead, you at least don't owe nothing, right? So that was the whole concept. She wants to come out whole. I don't want to have anything left behind, anything negative, right? So that then drives the question, is it possible to have amicable breakups, right? Is it possible to have amicable breakups? Put whatever your comment is or your opinion, put that in the comment section. Michelle said it took many years, but she's friends with her ex now. It's the best thing to do when children are involved. I agree holistically, right? Here's the thing. I believe, and again, you guys can come on and chime in with what your thoughts are. Do you believe that there's a such thing or that it is possible for an amicable breakup? I believe the answer is yes. I've had them, right? I think that it depends on what all happened within the relationship, like how much negative stuff happened, how bad the people who were involved were hurt. I believe that it also depends on the level of maturity by both people, right? Because you have some people who, if I can't have you, nobody can, right? But for me, I've always been, I mean, and I'm going on being married for about almost 25 years. So obviously this was before then, but you have some people who, and I'm one of them, that's of the mindset that you, I want the best for you, even if it's not me, right? Like I'm not arrogant enough to believe, like I know that I'm an acquired taste. I tell that to everybody, like people who are just my friends. I'm not for everybody. And I stopped a long time ago trying to be. Like I think that there was so much freedom that came in understanding that I am not everybody's cup of tea, right? And that's okay. I'm not offended by that. I'm not trying to offend other people. I'm going to be who I am. And if that don't work for you, that's okay. I'm not mad. I ain't gonna talk negatively about you. I'm not hurt. I'm not trying to do nothing to make you like me. You just got your side of the world and I have mine. Let me see. Shalonda says, I'm not officially divorced yet, but I tried to get along with him for my baby. He still acts like we're together. And see, there's your Corey, right? Because I'm sorry, his name officially is Dallas. Because that's the problem. Again, the amicable breakups only work if both people are mature. Because if you still get, and some people might say it's not mature, it would be bitterness, but for me I feel like being a bitterness is a feeling, right? And I feel like a part of maturity is being able to balance your emotions, right? To understand that you still have the ability to take hold of your emotions. Your emotions should not rule you, but you have the ability to rule your emotions. So if you are dealing with people who are bound, where emotion outranks logic, then yeah, you probably gonna be in for a really hard time with the divorce, right? Because hey, Miss Tanya, because for a lot of people don't take breakups well, and the reason, what I have found at least, is that it has nothing to do with you. It's an internal thing. The reason why many people, and I think especially men, the reason why breakups go bad is because it's a sign of failure. And I'll take that back. I won't say it's just for men. I won't say it's just for men. But I think that when you, so like say that you've been with a person however long, whether it's been 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, 20 years, when you've been with a person for a long time, for whatever the time period is, and if you have given your all, or you believe you've given your all to them, or even if it's not your all, if you've given to them more than you've given to anybody else, then who wants to believe that giving my all wasn't good enough? Giving my best wasn't good enough. And so my belief is that it really is, you internalize it, and that's the reason for the anger and the frustration, because it's like, well, what more can I do, instead of understanding that, look, you got this whole great big old world, and if you are a person who believes in monogamy, that means it's only one person out here for you. So the longer, and again, this has always been my mentality, and this is what I teach my girls. Like, first of all, and this could probably be a whole nother podcast for another day. First of all, we don't even date right anymore, right? Like, because dating, so there are levels to it. It's dating, then it's courtship, and then it's marriage. But we kind of eliminated the courtship part, right? Like, nowadays, the way that people date, and I don't think it has an age bracket to it, but the way that people date, you date involving sex. And so, like, when you going out, because this is under the Just Having Fun Act, so you go out and you sleep with everybody. And this is for both genders, men and women. If you going out and you laying down with everybody that you know, like, then you gonna start getting feelings that you ain't even supposed to be developing yet. And then, like, just because the sex is good, now you gonna feel like, okay, it needs to go to another level, when now you ignoring red flags that's there because you're attached in a way that you shouldn't even be attached. Let me see. Rochelle said, my ex-husband and I are good friends now, but it took years to get there. Once we both moved our pride aside and apologized for our part that led to the divorce, only then were we able to become friends, and it's wired to the kids. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Miss Sabrina. But this is what I'm trying to say. Like, if so, and again, I ain't pointing to them nobody, but I'm sure everybody, it ain't gotta be you, but you probably know somebody that this fits. So think about, like, if you're out and you're dating people, and what dating is actually supposed to just be is getting to know people, right? So that's how come, like, a lot of times with men date better than women, because most of the time, as soon as a woman starts dating, what they trying to do is they trying to take ownership. Now, this is my man, I want to be with you for the rest. And with men, they're literally, even though they incorporate the sex into it, which it shouldn't be, but when you're dating, the whole point of dating is just to get to know people. So that's how come you should be able to date multiple people where there are no strings attached, because it's basically based upon your okay, so if you want to date this person, maybe, I'm free today, so we can go to the show today. Okay, well, I'm free next week, so I go to bowling with you. I'm not laying down with you. I'm just trying to get to know who you are, right? I'm not spending every waking moment with you, because when you start giving a person all your time, now you feel like it's supposed to be a little bit more. Come on, Bridget. She said dating is collecting data. That's all that it's supposed to be. But what happens is, okay, so now I'm going to get involved. And if you start out dating, either because you broke and so you trying to get revenge, that ain't gonna work well. It ain't gonna end well. But if you just, like, all you want to do, you just trying to sex around with everybody, somebody gonna end up hurt, either you or them. 9 times out of 10, ain't nobody finna end up in a long-term relationship, right? So dating is actually supposed to just be a period where you're getting to know different people. Because think about it like this: if you come out and the first person you date, you finna be in a relationship with for 5 years, how many people can you date before? So a lot of people may not start dating till, I'll say, 15, 16, even though it should be like later in life, but whatever. So say you start dating at 16. Okay. So if you date somebody, because a lot of times when you're dating people, when you first start dating, you got to go through the process longer initially for you to figure out the things that you like. And that's the reason why you shouldn't be devoting your life to somebody right off back. So I know people, I've told people, like, they come out in a relationship. In my first relationship, I've been with this person for 10 years. 10 years. You've been with one person for 10 years and y'all ain't married? What? Wait, what? What are you doing? Like, so you done just say you start dating somebody at 16. You finna be with one person for 10 years. So by the time you get done, now you 26. If you keep that mentality up, that means you only finna date 3 people. So one person you 26, 2 people you 36, three people you 46. What are you so you don't get, you look up now, you almost 50. You done only dated 3 people and you still ain't no closer to being married. Something is wrong. What's wrong is your approach. So if it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to start. And again, this ain't being a player. This is being, who said about taking accountability? It's, you got to take accountability. Be adult. You sit at, you talk to a person. This is no strings attached. I'm just getting to know you. I'm just wanting to see whether or not I like you. So you start talking to different people. This is how you can talk to a few different people. And again, you ain't considered a hoe or nothing else if you ain't laying down with everybody that you talking to. These are friends. Some friends will work out, some friends will not. Most of them probably will not. Meaning, when I say work out, I mean in terms of going to another level, right? Some people you talk to and you realize, oh, no, are we gonna ever be as friends? Because like you could look at somebody and they look appealing, and maybe you lay with them and maybe they lay appealing. Can I say it like that? And maybe they lay appealing. But when you actually talking about building life together, you ain't about nothing. We don't share goals. We don't have the same dreams. You ain't got no vision. You don't got no ambition. And this is for either party. This is for male or female, like either one. But it's like, because you don't give yourself time to learn a person before you lay with them, then now you in a place where, heaven forbid, you be done got pregnant the first time out, you end up pregnant. Then it's like, oh, well, now I'm finna just be with it. So you gotta, because then courtship. So let me keep moving. Courtship is now, okay. So I've talked to maybe about 5, 7 different people, 8 different people, whatever your number is. Okay, I've talked to a few different people, and all of them was jokers, busters. I don't like none of them. But then maybe out of the 8, maybe 1 or 2 seem like they might be about something, right? So then you kind of talk to, you narrow it down. So now once you got the one, okay, now let me see what this could be. Let's see if this could be something. And you make sure we on the same page. Okay, do you want to now become monogamous? Because again, you are at the same page at the onset to say, hey, this ain't nothing serious. All we doing, like, if I got free time, you got free time, then we can hang out, we can kick it, right? Meaning sex free. We can hang out, we can kick it, see if we like each other, start learning about each other. Then once you done did that, now you're in a space where you can actually spend time, because when you're in a relationship with somebody, that take a whole lot of time and energy. Many relationships end simply because people ain't got time to maintain it, because it's a whole lot. And if you are a full-time worker, if you a parent already, or you got your own dreams and go, you living your own life, like, to then fit somebody else in that. So if I'm gonna go through all the work of fitting somebody else in that, that's another reason why people will stay in a relationship that they probably should let go a long time ago. Because again, it's internally saying, man, I done put all of this time and energy in something. And you don't want to admit that what you put in didn't work out, right? And so, and again, I ain't talking about people who married. That's a whole nother show for another day. Absolutely, you created that soul tie. But here's the thing. So once you say, okay, so I think now I'm a little bit more settled. Yeah, Tim seemed like he was nice, or Taylor seemed like she was okay. And if these anybody name y'all, then what, I don't know. I'm just making names up. But you, so now let me see what it'll be like to actually deal with them one on one. So now when you start talking and you're getting exclusive, the whole point of being exclusive is because now you're looking to see about marriage, because you done already dated, you done already went out, you done already hung out, you done already you done already had all of the fun stuff. Now it's like, okay, and I want to say you done already had the fun stuff, because marriage should be fun too, but y'all just go with where I'm going. So the point is, now it's like, I want to see you in a different light. So beyond just fun, I want to see, where is your head? Like, what are you thinking? Are you thinking the same thing I'm thinking? Like, do you like marriage the same way I like marriage? Do you want children? Like, because maybe you want children, maybe I don't. Like, these are all conversations that you need to have during the dating time. And you're having these conversations because now you're contemplating marriage, right? So it's during this during this time of your life when you're figuring out who it is, like whether or not, because let me tell you something, if Ava would have had this conversation with Dallas, she'd have found out that dude went through some things that maybe she wasn't ready to handle, right? Like, a lot of times we will say, well, I don't want to ask that right now. So you gonna wait till you get married? You gonna wait till you done put vows to then say, let me ask the hard stuff. Baby, no. You ask the hard stuff while you still got a way of escape where it's okay for you to escape. Like, you ask, what's your credit score? Like, why is it that low? What do you got going on? Or what did you have going on? Why you got it? If y'all at a place now where you're talking and looking toward marriage, you're going to be a part of that person's forever. So don't you think it's important to know what you getting yourself into before you get there? Like, you got all these dreams about owning a house and they can't even buy a piece of bubble gum. Wouldn't that be nice to know before you say I do? Like, can you afford a wedding? Because what if, especially as you get older, what if your parents are gone? So it ain't no father of the bride that's fitting the bill. You see what I'm saying? Like, are we more practical people or are we more extravagant people? If we are extravagant, can't we afford this extravagance? Or am I gonna be mad because you can't give me everything that I'm asking for? These are the times and the things that we should be asking during this time, right? And so the point is, I'm sorry, y'all, because this was not supposed to be. Just take that as some free wife and wisdom, okay? This was some wife and wisdom. She said, pay attention to who the person models themselves after in their family. Listen, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, you need to know all of that stuff. All of that is important. How do they get along with their family? Do they even like family? Do you like family? Are you a loner? Are they like, are you guys compatible? It don't take 10 years to find out whether or not you compatible with a person. Can I tell you this? So, like, if you come into a relationship, like after you done dated and you come in, you come to the table and both y'all with one accord, y'all saying, hey, we want to just like actually deal with each other to see whether or not this thing got potential. I don't mean move in with the person. Cause see, we gotta understand this whole, well, because I don't really know a person until I meet them. It's not that I disagree with that, but here's the thing: you actually moving because I hate to like quote cliches, but when they just true, they true. My dad told me a long time ago, and there ain't a lot of stuff I took from my dad, but this one was true. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? So do you understand? Like, and now I'm going to talk to my women about this because maybe it ain't all women, but we just gonna act like for these intensive purposes that it is. Do you understand that if you are so thirsty to get married, you or not even married, you just thirsty to have a man, do you understand they see that thirst? So like, they understand, like, you're teaching them how, you know how we say you teach people how to treat you. So when you just that thirsty, like, they ain't got no type of standard, you ain't got a standard for them at all. So it's like, man, because I just want a man. That's it. Like, not a good man, not a man with integrity, not a man. You just want a man. And so you then get a man, and then guess the reason why you say you just want a man. Because you probably broke somewhere. Somebody broke you, or you never got whole somewhere along the line. And then what's gonna happen is when you realize that you broken and then you start getting healed, you gonna then see that all you got was just a man. So then it's gonna be, do I really want to do the work to see if this could be something? Because you done got yourself really deeply involved. Because now you done got married because you just want a man. Versus if you can be okay with your own company, and if you could figure out who you are and what it is that you like and what it is that you want, then you're not going to be rushing for just a man. Now you can be a little bit more specific in what you're looking for. Okay, I need a man that is able to do, and I don't just mean all materialistic stuff. Like, I need somebody that's going to be able to hold me accountable. I need a man that got vision, or, because I'm a good helpmeet. Like, you need to know who you are. And so many times we don't know who we are. And this is what happened with Ava in the movie, right? Like, she lost herself because she thought that she could help him, right? So many times that's what happens. Like, instead of us working on ourselves to become healed, we become distracted. A lot of times we'll get attracted to people who are broken because we feel like, hey, now this can distract and deviate the time away from me fixing on me, because this person is way more broke than I am. So now let me work on fixing them, right? And so then you work on fixing them, but guess what? If they didn't want to be fixed, you just wasting time. Because how many times did he say, how many times did Dallas say, you just trying to fix me? You need to just love me for who I am. Because a lot of times that's what happens, whether it's the man or the woman in a relationship. Many times people marry fixers try to marry people that need to be fixed in their minds. But you didn't ask the person if they thought that they needed to be fixed. You just assumed because they were different than you that not only did they need to be fixed, but they would want for you to fix them. And so then once they didn't want that, now you at a stalemate again. And again, all it takes is communication at the onset before you start, moving in together, getting kids together, keys together, cars together. Like, don't start combining assets yet. Like, just start having some conversations, right? Because again, my point was, I'm gonna go on to the self-care thing. But my point is this, because if you move in and you just so happy because this man moved you in with him, baby, if he moved you in, he can move you out. Uh-oh, did I say something? If he moved you in, he can move you out. Or watch this. You happy because you asked him if he'd move in with you, and he moved in with you. What was he staying for? He moved in with you. Did he have his own, or was he living with somebody? Because now he just went from living with person A to you just now person B. You think that is deep. For him, he just need a roommate. Uh-oh. Okay, see, this one ain't supposed to be that show. We gonna probably have to do that show another time. I ain't trying to listen. Um, Shalonda says people need to understand that you always meet a person's representative before you meet the real person. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, and this is the other reason why you need to be with somebody, I would say at least 6 months, because most dudes, and now I'm gonna make it about a man thing. Most guys, if all they after is sex, they not finna be pursuing you for like 6 to 9 months if all they want is sex, because there's too many other people out here that they can just lay down with. So that's why you gotta put in the standard, because they not gonna say, oh, I don't. I mean, I won't say none of them, but it's gonna be very few and far between the times where a man will say, I'm being celibate or I'm abstinent, right? Like, it, very few times will the man bring that to the table. So if you really want to see whether or not a man wants you, you can't just lay down with him the first date, right? Like, you gotta at least have some type of standard. And then again, what I'm trying to get to y'all is the fact that once you're able to go through this stuff, once you're able to see what is going to be, because now you can see clearly. Like, if you just with a person and you ain't laid down with them, guess what, you're doing yourself a whole lot of favors, because now it ain't that soul tie, it's not that emotional tie. You ain't talking about, oh my god, because oh, he was so good, or it was so good, or she did that thing. Like, no, it's just literally, and it's logically, like, I can see this person's attitude or personality, it's gonna be a clash. So it's a no for me. And watch this, because again, the question of the hour is it possible to have amicable breakups? Like, when you come to the table and you guys are on the same page about what you're trying to get out of the relationship, and you see that that's not what you're able to get, yeah, it can be amicable. Why? Because I respect your time enough to not hold you up for 5 years, 10 years, when you could be using that time trying to actually get the person who is for you, right? And so, when again, this is why I say it can happen, but both people have to be mature. If you have a Dallas, this dude is broken, this dude is narcissistic, he got a whole lot of stuff going on. No, he don't. Hey, if I can't have you, nobody can. That's that mentality right there. That's where it go to the level real quick. But if you are, and this is why it's so important. Hey, Lonnie, this is why it's so important to make sure that the person next you with is the person you're supposed to be with. Because again, even if it's not the person you're supposed to be with, but if you did your due diligence, you gonna know this person ain't crazy. You gonna know that it's okay for us to just be friends. Because let me tell you something, with somebody who got some red flags when Shalonda talked about it being their representative. Somebody with red flags, they representative don't go too long, right? Like somebody that's like kind of real cool, they might can send a representative for maybe about I'm gonna give you about 2-3 months. Somebody who got all them tendencies that Dallas had, baby. If you don't see it in the first date, you're probably gonna see it in the second one, no later than the third one. There's gonna be some red flag somewhere. Cause I don't know. Look, I'm making it up in my mind. Guaranteed Tyler Perry didn't write a whole script. Guaranteed them brothers was probably there on the second date. It was probably something that them Beltran boys didn't the whole town say that them Beltran boys had always been trouble. But guess what? She wasn't listening. Why? Because her heart done got in the way. So now it's emotional, and now she can't see clearly because she too deep in the forest to see the trees. So this what I'm trying to say. When you dealing with some folks that ain't right, when you dealing with some folks that got some jealousies, some insecurities, and it's a whole lot of different type of insecurities. And again, I ain't just talking about me, I'm talking about both genders because it's some women out there. Y'all remember thin line between love and hate? Come on. Like it's some women that so the point is, but if you're doing your due diligence and you're talking to a person, first of all, you got to check yourself. Am I whole? This is the reason why it's so important to come to a relationship of whatever kind whole, but especially romantic relationship. You need to come whole because if you don't come whole, we attract who we are. So if I'm broken, I'm going to attract somebody that's broken. And the issue is, I don't know if the person that I attract has the same like the same level of desire that I had. Like I might come to the table broken and I'm aware I'm broken and my desire is to get healed. You come to the table, you might not even know you broke. You might think you okay how you are. Or you might know you broken, but you good because you like, hey, I've always been like this all my life. So I done figured out how to be dysfunctional. Like I've been figured out how to be functional in my dysfunctionality. People do it all the time. So you need to know even that. Like, do you see what I see when I see you? And are you okay with what I see? Or are you trying to change what it is? And most people that if they ain't look, most narcissists, they ain't looking to change because they think that they okay. So if you don't think that that's okay, that's time to put up that church finger and exit stage left. That's what's time to do. So let's go to the last part, which is self-care. So for those of you who are just tuning in, first of all, thank y'all and hello to all of you guys. So whether you are watching on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or even listening on Noon Vibe, thank you guys so much. If you have not already done so, I do ask that you please take the time to follow me across all social media platforms. So again, whether it is Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, formerly known as well, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Noon Vibe, all of them, y'all. I'm on all of them. At my name is Toneal. So please take the time to follow me at my name is Toneal. But we have been talking about divorce in the Black. That has pretty much been the theme. And you guys would get educated, get empowered with Toneal. What we do is we will take a topic, we'll take a theme, and we roll it through my 4 areas of expertise, which are the arts, entrepreneurship, relationships, and self-care. So we started out probably half of the show was doing a movie review on the actual movie Divorce in the Black. Then we rolled that over into the entrepreneurship aspect, which came from the fact that people criticize Tyler Perry for writing the same type of movie or playing to the same type of audience. And I talked about how that's actually a very smart entrepreneurial tactic because as an entrepreneur, it's your job to know who your target market is. And then you are supposed to play to that demographic. And that's what he does every time. And that's the reason why he continues to top out in whatever it is he does. He's not concerned about the people that don't like him. He ain't doing his work for them. Them ain't the ones that's making him millions. He's doing what his work for his target demographic. And then from there, we kind of rolled over into relationships, which the topic of the hour is. Is it possible to have amicable breakups? And so we were talking about what it would take to achieve that. And so that then kind of goes into self care, which is the last topic, or the last aspect of this topic. And Charlotte says she thought her love was going to heal him. You can't help no one who won't admit they need help. Come on, listen, listen. And I have this saying, you know how hurt people, heal people, but heal people can only heal people who want to be healed. Okay. And so that goes right into Charlotte say, you can't help somebody if they don't admit they need help. Even when you're doing like the AA and NA, first step is you have to admit that you have a problem. This boy wouldn't, talking about Dallas, would not admit he had a problem. She kept on trying to get him to talk about what happened when he killed his father, because he mentioned it, he put out there, but then that was all he would do. That's all he would say, right? Listen, listen. Lonnie says the same as repentance. You have to recognize there's an issue. Absolutely. Because it starts with you, right? Like nobody can make you change. You can want it so bad for somebody else. You could see the need, you could want it so bad, but until the person recognizes for themselves the need, they're never going to even try. And then they're probably going to get mad at you because, like Dallas said to him, why you keep trying to fix me? Obviously, he understood that she thought that there was a problem, but he didn't agree. So that goes to self-care. When we're talking about, you have to do it for you, right? So when we're talking about self-care again, self-care is being in touch with yourself, right? And y'all don't turn that perverted, because I don't mean it in a perverted way, but you have to be in touch with you. You have to know whether or not you are good. Are you good physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually? Listen, even financially, are you good? Where are you? There needs to be an assessment that goes on. And there's this line that she said in the movie, like something about like not knowing the type of woman that he had. And so many times in relationships, and again, this is for both genders, if you're not careful, you can lose yourself in a relationship. And now I don't even just mean a romantic relationship. As parents, you can, want so bad. I'm trying to make sure that my child have everything. And then your life totally revolves around nothing but your child. I remember when my girls were really, really little, right? Like I was so consumed with being a mom, and I just wanted to be the best mom. And it sounds like that was a great thing, right? But I had kind of totally forgotten about myself. My sister would come and she would always say, hey, Toneal, what you want to do? Or she'd take me out. We go to the mall and she's like, because I want this to be a day about you, right? She said, hey, what you want for me to buy? And here I am pointing out a Dora game, a Monopoly game for the house, or this for one of my girls. She said, no, for you. And I had totally forgot who that person was, because my whole focus had only become these little people, right? And so again, there is nothing wrong with being a good parent, with being a good partner, but you have to always be a good person for yourself. If you start seeing that who you are is getting muddied in the waters, like you no longer realize who you are anymore, you don't have a good grasp at what you like you'd be surprised. And as a life coach, that's one of the things I help people get back in touch with, right? Like I can't tell you how many people, if I asked them what was their favorite movie, they couldn't tell me, because I don't even remember the last time I watched a movie. Okay, well, what's your favorite TV show? I don't really watch TV. Okay, well, what's your favorite thing to do? I don't really know, because all I do is work, or all I do is take care of my kids, or people don't ask me how I feel. Nobody asks me. So you have to love you enough to ask yourself how you feel. Are you okay? And you have to know yourself well enough to know when you're not okay. And you need to be able to be around people who can respect and appreciate the times when you're not okay, and be willing to do something to help to make you be okay, right? To help you get to that place. Like when people are like if you tell somebody I'm not okay, and people are okay with the fact that you're not okay, that's a problem. Like you need to, hey Tamika, if people know that you're not okay and they say that they love you, and they not trying to say, well, is there something that I can do? Like, and granted, everybody can't fix you. I'm not saying that there's always a solution that people can give, but they should at least try. They should at least offer. Is it something I can do? Do you need to talk? Can I take you somewhere? Is it something that I can help with? Need me to take the kids? Like, there needs, because why are they comfortable in your discomfort? Why are you around people that's comfortable in your misery? Like, why are you around people that don't care about your well-being? Like, you should be around people where you don't even have to say, I'm not okay. Like, you should, the type of circle that you should have should know you so well that when you're having a stressful day, without saying I have a stressful day, they should be able to understand, hey, Miss Ari, but without saying I'm having a bad day, they should be able to see you're having a bad day because they know your character. And so when they see that you have everything okay, is it something I can do? That's what it should be, right? And so you don't want to surround yourself with people who don't care about you, with people who, well, hey, Miss Latasha, with people that will, as long as you're doing for me, then I'm okay. That ain't cool, right? Like, there should always be your relationships, no matter what they are, they should always be built on mutual love and respect, so that the same way I care about you, you should also care about me. And when that's not happening, then it might be time to exit stage left, right? Now, in Ava's case, Ava was willing to stay. The only reason why she left because that man said, I want a divorce. I don't want to be with you no more. But she told her parents, like, she wouldn't even let them know what was going on because she was trying to do the best that she could. She understood I'm in a jacked up situation, but I honor my vows. So I'm gonna try to do whatever I can. I'm gonna try to love him. I'm gonna try to be the best I can. I'm gonna try. Okay. Like I say, we'll talk about a marital thing on a whole nother show. That's a little bit different because they do kind of come with the whole, it's a little contingency clause in there to death do us to us death do us part. So a lot of people, they take those vows very seriously, but notwithstanding, so if it ain't no vows that we talking about, the people that you dealing with, I don't care if it's in your work world, I don't care if it's in your church world, I don't care if it's in your personal life. Like, the people that you surround yourself with should be worthy of you. That don't make you conceited. That is not a conceited statement. You should know that, hey, when I come to a room, I'm adding value. So there's nothing wrong with expecting that the people who you're adding value to also be able to add value to you. It ain't got to be the same thing, but it should definitely be mutual. A friend of mine would always talk about equitable treatment. If I'm good to you, you should be good to me. It should not just be flowing one way. It should not just be, and if you're just constantly giving all the time. And I know a lot of times as givers, people like giving because you feel, you got that S on your chest, but you setting yourself up if you don't have a standard in place, right? I don't mean ulterior motives. Please understand that. I don't mean ulterior motives. You do what you do from your heart, but there should also be people giving to you. Again, I don't mean dollar for dollar, but if whatever it is that you need, because we all have different needs, if you're in the right circle, there shouldn't be a need that you have that's not being fulfilled, right? Because maybe this person brings laughter to your life. Maybe this is the person that'll help you when you're discouraged and they got encouraging work. Maybe this person is the person that you can go to if you need some advice on business. So this person you might get, like, it's always these different aspects, but everybody, and again, a lot of people don't have big circles. I ain't got 50 people in my circle. I know a whole lot of people, but in terms of in my circle, my actual immediate circle, the people I go to, that's not big. But whatever it is that I need is fulfilled in that circle that I have. Let me see. Latasha says, iron sharpen iron. We should be building each other up and holding each other up on every level. Absolutely. And if the people that you're a part of don't do that, you need to find some other people. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. But in either case, y'all, look, I don't went 90 minutes, and y'all know that is not what I meant to do. But that's only because that doggone movie. I did the for those of you who are just coming in, I reviewed Tyler Perry's Divorce in the Black. That was probably about 40 minutes. My bad. or not. It was a good movie. I believed it to be a good movie. On a scale of 1 to 10, I gave it an 8. I do recommend seeing it if you haven't already seen it. And in the beginning of the show, I said you couldn't watch this movie if you hadn't already. I mean, you couldn't watch my podcast if you hadn't already watched the movie. But I take that back, because even though I talked about the movie, I was all out of, it wasn't in chronological order. It was all in there. It all happened. But you gotta, if you only would have gotten what I said if you actually watched the movie. If you didn't watch the movie, then you got bits and pieces. So it's enough though. Hey, Miss Andrea. So listen, y'all. I hope that y'all get, no matter what, you always will matter. Okay. We were talking about amicable relationships or breakups. Like, you should always want to be the best version of yourself and want to be around people who wants the best version of you. When you are around people who are intimidated by your light, then you need to go shine in another room. Let them be in the dark. Okay. Like, if it's a problem because you shine, you got to always dim your light. You can't be who you are because you think she always thinks she all that. She got to bring this. He got to say that. If it ain't that, when you got people that's mad just because you walking in purpose, then you don't have to force yourself on anybody. Same way that Ava was trying to force herself on Dallas, but Benji was there with open arms. I don't care where you go. There will always be a space for you. The problem is we spend so much time trying to force ourselves in a space that's not intended for us. But if you will value yourself enough to say, "Hey, I know when and where I'm appreciated, and I only want to be where I'm appreciated, not just tolerated," then you would cut off a lot of unnecessary time. You wouldn't waste as much time as you are being in places where you shouldn't be, right? And that's where bitterness starts coming up at, resentment starts coming up, because you feel like you should be appreciated more than you are because you know what you're putting out. But people can't appreciate what they don't have capacity for, right? So sometimes you got to be able to see who you are and where you are. And so, anyway, that's a whole nother lesson I'm going into, but I don't want to do that. So, we're going to stop right now. And I'm going to say this. So, all this week, guys, we're going to be talking about these kind of off-putting relationships. One started with divorce in the black. Tomorrow going to be real interesting. We are going to be talking about the attempted assassination of former President Trump, and what that means, right? We're going to break it down because, again, if you know me, when we talk about get educated, get empowered with Toneal, I'm always going to talk about the facts first. We're going to present the facts. And even if the facts are negative, we're going to figure out how we can get the positive out of it, right? Because at the end of the day, the Bible says we know that all things work together for good. And so, like, how do we find the good out of all these different things that happen? But tomorrow will be that discussion. We'll also be talking about I know Tasha, but I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it. But then we'll also talk about all of these deaths. It was so many deaths that happened on Saturday. And again, I know people are always dying, and it is not just about the celebrities, right? Because if you know me, I'm not one that goes so much into celebrity death, but the meat of the discussion is going to be how death affects us, right? Because a lot of times we only look at the negative effects of death, but we're going to even figure out how to get the positive out of that, guys. So in either case, I just want to thank everybody that tuned in, and also encourage you guys. I am working on a new course that is called Embracing No. So for those of you, when we were talking about making sure you're in the right circle, if you're in that wrong circle, and a lot of the reasons because you don't know how to tell people no, because you feel like you everybody's yes person, you they doormat every time everybody need anything, they coming to you, and you the person that feel like you got to fix everybody's everything. But now it's becoming problematic. You tired, you bitter, you resentful, and you don't know how to get out of it. Then this course is for you. So from now to the end of the month, you can pre-order this course for just $49. As of August 1st, it will be $79. And so, you guys, right now, if you want to pre-order it, you can go to Cash App, and you can Cash App that $49 to dollar sign IMEAE, or you can Zelle it to info@educatedandempowered2.com. Again, if just me telling you about it isn't enough and you like, nah, I need to know all of the everything, then you'll wait until August 1st when it's up on the website and you can get every single detail, and then you could pay $79 for it. But for those who like hear what I'm saying and you understand that this actually applies to you and you want to save $30, then you guys can hit it up, Cash App or Zelle, and pre-order that course right now. But again, I want to thank everybody who tuned in. And again, if you're not already following me, be sure to go to every single platform because I'm on all of them. At my name is Toneal. And if you are listening to me like these 45 people here on Noon Vibe are, if you want to continue, I'm going to do a little bit of an after show here on Noon Vibe. So if you guys don't already have the app downloaded, those who are watching it visually, download the Noom Vibe. NOOMVIBE app, and then you can come over here and listen to me. We're going to finish dissecting this here on the after show. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope that you have been able to get educated and get empowered with Toneal. Thank you.